For some people, Thanksgiving is all about football. But for me, it's about pumpkin pie. We are going to up your pumpkin pie game today on Across the Fence. The perfect pumpkin pie starts with fresh pumpkin. We're at Sam Mazza's farm stand in Colchester, where Lori Mazza-Bombard is giving me a pumpkin pie pumpkin tutorial. All right, so Lori, will you tell me what's the right kind of pumpkin for me to make into a pumpkin pie?
Well, there's a specific pumpkin you want to use to make a pumpkin pie.
Okay.
They're sugar pumpkins.
Okay.
They're smaller. They're
one of these guys.
Yeah,
okay.
they're just the right size to make one pumpkin pie.
Oh.
It's really pretty easy to do this as far as using fresh pumpkins. Cut them in half, clean them out, bake them. When they're cool, scoop them out. You're ready to make a pumpkin pie?
Oh, nice. Okay, so what makes sugar pie pumpkin the right kind of pumpkin to use for pumpkin pie?
They are sweeter.
Sweeter.
They have a good texture to make the pie. You don't have all that stringiness like you would of a carving pumpkin.
Yeah, like a jack-o'-lantern.
That's right.
We don't want a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin.
You don't want a jack-o'-lantern. You want to use a pie pumpkin for the best flavor and color. Beautiful.
You know, when I've baked with these before, because I think I have done this one time before, the color is a little different. They're not quite as bright orange.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's gonna vary too, because there are some pie pumpkins that are a little bit different color. So it will vary. I see that it darkens up a little bit as it bakes, but it probably will never look like it came out of a can.
But that's kind of the appeal of doing it on your own too, right? Yeah, because you're not going to have that like russet, orangey kind of color you associate with a store-bought pumpkin.
Correct.
Instead, you're going to have more of that kind of fresh, almost tangerine orange. It's really pretty.
It is.
Okay, so do you like high heat or low heat when you're cooking pumpkin?
Well, I've kind of used medium heat and then just watched it, you know, make sure. I'll leave it in there a little longer to get the extra moisture out without, you know, burning it.
Yeah, well, because that's an important part. We don't want to have too much moisture. And we need about 15 ounces. That's like what's in standard in a can for our pumpkin pie recipe. So it looks like one of those is going to work out just perfectly.
Yeah, it's a can without recycling.
A can without recycling. Perfect. Okay, I'm taking it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lori.
All right.
Next stop, the Foods Lab at UVM. Science and taking the time to get organized and make a plan before you cook really can make you a better baker. Just ask my former student, Zoe Armette, who's joining me for a refresher course.
Favorite Thanksgiving pie?
My favorite pie has got to be my grandma's chocolate pecan pie, although pumpkin is probably a close second.
So what do you remember about the Maillard reaction and caramelization? Yeah.
The sugars.
It's all about those natural sugars, yes. And so caramelization is just the sugars, and then Maillard reaction happens when you also have some protein. And there's protein in everything. There's protein in a pumpkin. When we brown and roast this in the oven, all of those, like, so the browning action is going to create a bunch of complexity and flavors, and then the caramelizing sugars are what's going to come and give us all that sweetness. To caramelize its natural sugars, our sugar pie pumpkin slow roasts at 275 degrees for 75 minutes. Next up, a tender, flaky pie dough that is virtually foolproof, thanks to science. Okay, is there gluten in flour?
Well, no, technically, right?
Technically, no, right, because we only actually have, so there's glutenin and gliadin.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Glutenin and gliadin are the precursors of gluten. They are what is actually in flour, and gluten forms when we add water to flour. So right now, we're not actually, maybe there's a little bit of moisture in the butter, maybe we're getting a tiny bit of gluten formation, but for the most part, what we're doing is making this paste where we're locking away flour inside the butter so that then when we add water to it, that flour is actually not even available to make gluten because we've trapped it, coated it in fat so that the water is just goes right off of it. Slightly less than half the flour in the recipe gets pulsed with all of the butter until it's pasty. Then we mix it with the remaining flour.
All right, we got flour in this metal bowl here, and we're just adding the paste.
And we're just gonna kind of distribute that, but we don't. We're gonna leave nice big pieces in it. When we add water, gluten starts to form, but only in the dry flour. The rest is trapped in the butter paste. We're precisely controlling how much gluten is formed. No mystery or guesswork, just consistent results. So pressing it in, so we get like a little lamination technique. Kind of pat the dough and then fold it on itself so that we distribute the hydration through the dough. I'm just using the back of my hand and lightly pressing on it to help distribute that hydration. And then that's good. We're gonna divide this in two, wrap each up in plastic wrap, and then put it in the refrigerator for probably about an hour. Let it rest, let it chill. The roasted pumpkin comes out of the oven smelling sweet and delicious. How's that pumpkin look?
It's looking nice.
Nice and
Nice
soft.
and tender.
Yeah, tender, soft. Zoe peels the skin and purees the flesh silky smooth. Like Lori promised, it's not too fibrous or wet, and there's just a bit more than 15 ounces, the same quantity as in a can of store-bought puree, and exactly how much we need for the recipe. Hey, there you go. Oh, wait, here's the pastry chef version.
Yeah.
It's the sideways throw.
Beautiful.
And the best, do you remember?
And then just flip it.
Quarter turns, perfect, yeah. So a little bit from the top, a little bit from the bottom, quarter turn, a little from the top, a little from the bottom, and then just keep working it around. Move your dough, don't move your pin. I mean, you can move your pin a little bit, but for the most part, move your dough. There you go. Want to take over?
Sure.
There you go. Okay, ready? And then in and drape. Perfect. So you want to work gently. It's like kind of lift and let gravity do the work and have it fall into the pan. Because if you poke it with your fingers, especially if you have even like the slightest fingernail, right through the crust.
Right through, yeah.
Yes. You know how to crimp?
Give me a refresher. Some crimping.
2 fingers pinch.
Yes.
Second finger pokes. And you want it to sort of sit on the edge of your pie pan so it stabilizes. You can put it in the refrigerator for at least half an hour, maybe an hour or so until it's really good and chilled. Blind baking using dried beans for pie weights prevents a soggy bottom. After 15 minutes at 425 degrees, we take the weights out and bake it for 8 to 10 more minutes until the crust is golden. While it's baking and then cooling, we make the filling. Basically, a pumpkin pie filling is just about making a custard. It's a baked custard. So it's setting because of the eggs, and remember that the whole thing when you're making a custard is like you're racing against coagulation. The trick to baked custard is preventing the eggs from over-coagulating before the custard sets, resulting in a wet, grainy filling. We do that by adding extra fat in the form of cream cheese and melted butter, which slow down the rate of coagulation. The filling gets poured into the cooled, blind-baked crust. Right, like top rack, middle of the top rack for even baking. And we're not putting a baking sheet or anything underneath it, because remember we have conduction heat transfer that is happening. Yes. And when you concentrate the heat underneath it, it means that then it's gonna start cooking those edges faster possibly than the heat can travel to the center. So in order to slow things down again, don't have concentrated heat, just go ahead and let the pie pan do its magic, let the air happen. After about 40 minutes at 350 degrees, the egg proteins are coagulating and the custard is starting to set. So we're gonna let it bake for a little bit longer, but I start to look as I can see how the coagulation is starting to happen around the edges, which makes sense because conduction heat transfer cooks from the outside in. So all that heat is traveling toward the center and we like it, we want it to still be wobbly, but that's still too wet. So we're gonna set the timer for like 10 more minutes and then check it again.
So nice.
The proteins continue to coagulate after the pie comes out of the oven. So, to prevent overcoagulation, we take it out when it's still a little wobbly in the center. It smells intoxicating, but let it cool for at least an hour before cutting into it. But look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so look how, no soggy bottom. Look at that bottom crust. It's nice and browned, it's still flaky, we've got good integrity. Like, and I can hold it out like that.
Wow.
It's not flopping down, it's not wet. That is a beautiful piece of pumpkin pie. What makes a perfect pumpkin pie? Tender, flaky crust and a silky, smooth, spicy filling, made with a little scientific know-how. But the most critical ingredient, that's a good bite, is joy.
That's good. That is good. Oh my God.
I'm Amy Finley. This is Across the Fence. Come back and let's learn and explore again tomorrow.
How cute.